welcome in, race fans, to another wonderful episode of the NORA Truck Series here on VirtualRacing.Network. This is live iRacing on VirtualRacing.Network, and tonight, the NORA Truck Series 2023 Season Number 5, Race 14. We're getting very close to the end of Season Number 5, the regular season, about to head into the playoffs, and we visit another twisty course. Yes, one of the right turn courses here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, a 2.25 mile circuit, legendary amongst road racing fans in the United States. 15 laps we'll be doing in the first stage, 35 in the second, and 67 laps overall. And of course, my name is Trevor Greenfield. So great to have you joining us here on VirtualRacing.Network. And as always, here on the NORA Truck and Cup Series Network, I am joined by none other than Christian Snyder. And Christian, welcome once again to the broadcast. And what do we have to look forward to tonight here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course?
Well, from what I hear, it's going to be a exciting race. You know, we got open qualifying for only the second time this season, I believe, in the Truck Series. We've seen it before in the Cup. So this style of qualifying will be interesting to see, as we can see them going out on track now. But this track, 2.21 miles long. It's kind of hot out there, honestly. It's 86 degrees temperature out there, so it's going to be a little bit slick. These guys are going to have to watch getting on the throttle off the corners. Not going to have much grip out there. We got some newcomers to NORA to look forward to tonight, so it's a pretty big field for a road course. Typically we don't see big fields, but this is 21 or 22 trucks out here. So pretty decent sized field tonight. Can't wait to see what these guys do.
Well, and as you mentioned, quite a few new names out here tonight that some drivers in NORA are going to be familiar with. Of course, Everett Couch, last week's pole sitter, going to be out there in the field tonight racing for the JRC Sim team. Where we've also got Vincent Arthur back out there racing on a road course. That should be exciting. Jared Wishen out there racing for KPR Motorsports. Haven't seen him for a little while. Ronnie Norman going to be back in action. Of course, I'm sure the Ronnie Norman fan club will be looking forward to that. And a few new names. Stephen Henning for the JRC Sim team. Also going to be having a very certain Jovi Ray joining us. And that is some exciting stuff. Jovi Ray last night in the Icon Cup Series, making his debut here on VirtualRacing.Network and doing a fabulous job, taking the very first ever Icon Cup Series win. And with that, he's going to be racing for, who is that? Full Send Motorsports. Well, that's your team, Christian.
Yeah, I talked to him. Our truck driver that's usually in the 75, Andrew Staub, he wasn't able to make it tonight. Got laid over in Florida with his plane. So we got a new driver out there in the 75 with Jovi, and we'll see how he does tonight.
Well, it is exciting stuff here in NORA, seeing some great new faces, and of course, so great to be able to bring some of the NORA drivers over into the Icon Cup Series and just getting a lot of participation between the two. But this is going to be great tonight, a full field here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. We already see one driver off. I believe that looks like Matthew George.
Yeah.
We'll have to get
That's
over.
It's definitely not where you want to be. He was going to the beach there, and you don't want to be at the beach here.
No, in fact, that's one of the easiest places to do something exactly like that. But this track just hosting the IndyCar Series just a couple of weeks ago. And
terrible crash there. Simon Pagenaud.
And yet, once again, that aero screen and the halo that's been introduced, doing a heck of a job, but definitely barrel flipping out. And that was right at that corner where I believe it was Matthew George who went off just a moment ago. So whoever that was that did go off, fortunate to come away with everything in one piece. And of course, Simon Pagenaud doing the same thing, but not cleared to race in that race. So we've got Brian Jones setting the time at the top of the chart so far, a 1:27. 0.43. Second up. Now, this driver was fastest in practice just ahead of this qualifying session. Jovi Ray making his debut now here in the NORA Series for Full Send Motorsports, racing for owner points for you over there, Christian. And this is pretty exciting stuff, especially seeing as how his first lap already faster than this guy, Vincent Arthur. And Vincent just now on his second lap, coming to about halfway done with that. And oh, we've got a new driver at the top. It's Sean Briscoe, and you can see he's getting that truck all kinds of sideways coming through corner number 1. He's going to let another driver go past. He's going to pull it to the side and park as Brian Jones was just about to go through. These drivers are going to have 10 minutes here to get it done, and we're just coming up on about halfway done. So Briscoe now sitting in the pits. He's going to probably take on some new tires and get that one fired up again, headed back out there. Jared Wishin for KPR Motorsports back in the field. Great to see him back in the NORA fold once again, as Wishin stepped in and was able to take victory in the NORA Series, and now back behind the wheel of a truck, and we'll see what he can do out here at Mid-Ohio. But so far, I mean, it's kind of the who's who of the Truck Series so far, plus a Jovi Ray in the top 5. But Briscoe, Jones, Jovi Ray, Vincent Arthur, and Jared Wishin, your top 5. Ronnie Norman sitting in the pits there. He's already taken 6th place. Cody Height on his way right now, and he has set up in 6th place so far, or 7th place, excuse me. This driver here, Brady Moats, very familiar to all of you out there in NORA land, and currently in 8th place. He was a bit faster than that in practice, so we'll see if we can improve. Josh Conover for Flatline Motorsports right now holding on to 9th place, just trying to get in as many fast laps as they can in this 10-minute stretch. And then finally in the top 10 right now sits Timothy Harper for Harper Motorsports. That was pretty interesting last night, though, for everybody who tuned in. And by the way, that was a lot of you, and we do greatly appreciate it on VirtualRacing.Network, everybody who tuned in last night for the Icon Cup Series. But Timothy Harper leading the way of Harper Motorsports, and there were 4 NORA drivers that came over and tried their best to beat Jovi Ray last night, but unable to do so. So it's great to see them get a rematch here tonight in the NORA Truck Series. And we watch on as Tim Harper there goes 4th fastest. Seems like turning right and left is something that he's starting to be able to do pretty well.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier this week, and he was practicing at Mid-Ohio here throughout the week, and I talked to him earlier today, and he said, I think I got a top 5 truck. We'll see how it goes, but I think I got a feel for it, is what he said. So, I mean, his qualifying time is showing that he's getting a little bit better here at this track every time he comes out.
Absolutely, that's all it's about, is just trying to improve each and every time. Go back and try and look at the data and see what you can improve on, and there's always something that you can improve on, whether it's strictly turning left or turning right and left. There's lots and lots of stuff to figure out, lots of weight transfer going right and left. This track really kind of a king of weight transfer. If we jump on board here with Brian Jones, I mean, this is as twisty and turny as it gets, and managing that weight transfer and doing some great trail braking in through these corners. It's going to buy you a lot of time around here, as Brian just putting in the end of this lap.
I was talking to a couple other drivers about how they, brake at these type of tracks. We saw in real life SVG come out to the Chicago street course and do something that no other NASCAR driver does, and that's right foot brake. I've been doing that my entire life, so I was interested to see how many people were right foot braking in NORA, and so far everyone I've talked to, none of them are doing it. Everyone's left foot braking.
Well, I think if you step back about 15, 20 years, you would have had a whole different story with a lot of the drivers trained old school, driving with just one foot out there so that they had one available for the clutch. But Nowadays, you don't really need the clutch so much anymore, and basically, a lot of these cars and trucks can be driven pretty much sequentially. So it's it just one up through the gears, one after another, and don't really need the clutch. Very fast shifting, and certainly in the formula cars and things like that, no need for the clutch except on the start. So as we see Ronnie Norman put in a little bit faster of a time there. He'll move up to 8th fastest. Jovi Ray that last time by, cementing his 3rd spot out there. Cole Martin now making his way into the top 7. So Cole looking to get a nice solid start here for the night. We're just winding up qualifying here. We will be done here in about 15 seconds. And we'll be able to bring you up to speed on the points as well. It looks like Sean Briscoe, that time, able to set fastest lap as
what a lap.
He then gets eclipsed by Brian Jones at the very end, 126.91. Fantastic time by the points leader, Brian Jones, who still manages to hang on to those points. So... yeah. That's going to do it for us here, I believe, as everybody has just finished.
There's still some cars still finishing their lap here. These two are just now finishing their lap. I believe that was the 32. You see Brady Motes just moved up. Couts just moved up as well into 9th. And now we're going to see if Jovi Ray can put down a lap here as he's coming to the line.
Just comes to the line. And goes to the top.
Of the board.
What a great qualifying effort for Jovi Ray, who's obviously feeling it. Coming over from last night in the Icon Cup Series and pulls a trick right out of Brian Jones's bag by setting the fastest lap right at the end. Congratulations to Jovi Ray taking pole position, and I believe everyone else now has completed their qualifying effort. So we're going to get to the starting grid in just a moment. Why don't we go ahead and bring up on the screen the current points as they are sitting right now. And here you can see after 13 races, why don't we go with the driver standings first. There you can see it. Brian Jones still leading the way, but after taking the week off, he is back behind the wheel. And 10 points, the difference now between first and second, with Josh Conover sitting right there in second. All the drivers there in yellow are already into the playoffs at the end of the season. Again, just 2 more races after this one remaining in the regular season. So these drivers on the bubble right down there, Torrin Shirts, has got to do everything that he can. He's got a pretty sizable margin. But you never know, and with Mark Bremkamp, I don't even know, is Mark in the race here tonight?
I don't believe so. I didn't see him during qualifying.
So with that, though, Torrin does have to be careful, because should Jovi Ray or somebody else, Jovi not racing for driver's points, but should somebody else who is racing for driver's points manage to take a win, Shirts would be out. So you gotta get those points. You gotta get those wins where you can. Here's the owner points. A lot of movement here. Flatline Motorsports jumping up to the top with Capital Motor Club coming down a spot, and both Brian Powell machines jumping down a couple of spots. Lots of movement throughout this field. Again, we'll keep track of that, and we'll have a final report at the end of the regular season for you. And now let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's qualifying order for Mid-Ohio. It's round number 14 for the NORA Truck Series. There you can see it on your screen. It's Jovi Ray who takes pole position. Congratulations to Jovi. Fantastic qualifying effort there from the Full Send Motorsports fill-in driver. Brian Jones taking second place. On the second row will be Sean Briscoe and Vincent Arthur. On the third row, Timothy Harper and Jared Wishen. On the fourth row, Brady Motes and Cole Martin. Starting on that fifth row will be Everett Couts and storming Roddy Norman. We'll see how far he can storm forward tonight. In 11th, it'll be Cody Height, and in 12th, Josh Conover. Christian?
Up next, we got Cody Reeder and Matthew George in 13th and 14th. Then you got Stephen Henning and Jacob Gladelich with Torn Shirts and Dylan Walterman behind them. Then you got Craig Schroeder and Brad Fulham on row 10. Row 11, Todd Slauson and Christopher Heights with Mark Martin and Corey Danielson, 23rd and 24th. And I believe there's one more truck, and it's Nick Geilis in the 24. Starting 25th.
So 25 drivers going to be starting here tonight. Very short pace lap as they will be just rounding a couple of corners, and then we will be kicking this one off momentarily. And Jovi Ray going to be starting alongside Brian Jones. We'll see how they get through turn number 1. Kind of scary stuff to start your debut race most of the way through the season, and you got to go side by side with the points leader through turn number 1, but that's what we got. Here we go. We are green here at Mid-Ohio. Great jump there for
most of the field trying to still catch up for this green flag, but we are green, and Jovi Ray going to take the lead easily off of Brian Jones out of turn 1.
And they rush up towards turn number 2. Brian Jones still side by side with Sean Briscoe. Now looks like Jones into the keyhole, going to move ahead. Briscoe kind of gets caught on the outside. Now side by side with Vincent Arthur down as they race down towards the fastest corner on the track. They're going to have to see who can settle this score before they get there, because it's only one car through that corner. Still sticking it out side by side, and it's Arthur who merges ahead. Briscoe losing that position on the start. Still a lot more going on. Corey Danielson having an off track just a moment ago. And now we see Arthur just barely able to stay in front of Briscoe. Wishing up a position, as is Moats. Timothy Harper jumping down a couple of spots, and it looks like he's still having trouble. You see the green number 99 having some issues, and now gets into the side. I believe was that Ronnie Norman?
Ronnie Norman. Yeah, Ronnie Norman goes around. He has a little bit of contact. He's trying to get back onto the track now. He's got to be careful merging here that someone doesn't hit him, but it looks like he'll merge easily. Doesn't look like too much damage, so he'll be good. But being that there's no cautions here tonight, that's going to be pretty hard to come back for Ronnie Norman there.
Well, and I wasn't sure what was going on with Harper, but Harper just kind of found himself in no man's land and ended up tapping Ronnie Norman and sending him around. But, you know, in real life, they actually start these races usually on the backstretch just about where Jovi Ray is right now. And they finish it on the front stretch where they actually started the race. So a little different here in iRacing, but you can see why it's most of the field struggling to stay up with the leaders and get formed up for that green flag. But now it's starting to stretch out a little bit. Jovi Ray still on top with Brian Jones in second place. Vincent Arthur in third. Sean Briscoe in fourth. Jared Wishin in fifth place. And taking a look a little bit further back, here's Cody Height trying to race for position. He's already gained 2 spots right now. That's Cody Height on YouTube, as he's known. Racing for Hollinger Racing out there tonight. Going to be taking a look here, seeing if he can possibly make a move on Cole Martin, who sits just in front for the JRC Sim team.
Yeah, Cole Martin actually came over here tonight, kind of last minute. Jovi Ray invited him in, and JRC Sim happened to have a seat open, and he's able to fill in for it. But Cody Height all over the back of him trying to find a way around. I think Cody Height's got a little bit of a faster truck right now. He's just got to figure out a way to pass, because it is pretty tough to pass at this track.
Indeed, one of those extremely difficult to pass tracks for sure. And certainly you got to plan every single pass that you can possibly make here, unless that driver in front is going to have a slight misstep. And even then, you got to kind of plan for how you're going to attack it, even with that misstep. So back up front, no problems whatsoever, as we're now on to lap number 3 for the Full Send Motorsports driver, Jovi Ray. So he's looking pretty good, I would have to say. Let's take a look back here. This was just a moment ago. This is Craig Schroeder having an off track for the Capital Motor Club. Kind of climbs the curbing there, manages to bring it back down and gets that truck back underway. And this was on the opening. This was just on the green flag. Let's see if we can tell what happened to Corey Danielson. Looked like he had an off track just coming to the green flag there, kind of dipping some wheels off, brings it back on, and then just a moment later, let's see if we can figure this one out. Just a moment later, right into the wall. I tell you, Christian, I'm no rocket scientist, but that is not the way that you want to start one of these races.
Yeah, no, definitely not the way you want to start. And Corey Danielson has had a rough season so far. A lot of DNFs, and that's unfortunate because he is one of those guys that's been around NORA for a long time, and would like to see him get one of the good finishes that he deserves.
Absolutely. Deserves. Everybody deserves who puts in the time to get something good out of the season. I mean, there's always got to be a race that you can hopefully take home a top 5, a podium, something to show for your hard work. And always hope for some of these drivers that put in the time and show up week in, week out, get something good out of the season. As always, looking over in our YouTube chat room, great to have everybody joining us. I see Jacob Gladelich giving us the wave. Appreciate you joining us, Jacob. Mark Bremkamp saying he wouldn't be in the field tonight, currently at the cavern hibernating from the heat, and I don't blame you. Down here in Florida, we're looking at 95-degree temperatures and high humidity, so I certainly understand what you're talking about. Stephen Dombrowski says, what's up, Trevor and Christian? Hey, Stephen, my friend, always out here rooting on your buddy Ronnie, and you know, it doesn't matter where Ronnie's at in the field. He's always got a chance to move forward and possibly take top 5 or a victory. Right now, though, he's got a lot of making up to do. He's going to have his work cut out for him. He's got a long time to do it here tonight, as he's now trying to work on Dylan Walterman. Looks like he's taken that position. So he was in 18th, now back into 17th. And Cody Height saying, let's go. Well, Cody, appreciate you checking in. I don't even know how you do it. You're streaming over on YouTube, and you're checking in with us over on YouTube. Certainly,
he's multitasking.
I mean, it's just, he's got it all going on. And Mark Bremkamp rooting on Torin shirts, of course. And as we just mentioned, you know, Torin's right on that bubble for the points, and we've only got 2 races after this one. And once again, any of these drivers that are in the field that have not taken a win and are not just racing for owners' points, they could take a win here and they could do some damage. Possibly Cody Reeder could get up there and take a win. A number of these drivers very capable of doing so. So we'll just have to see. Kind of thought maybe Brad Fulham might be up there racing for top 5 tonight, but not having that kind of night that he's known for, at least on the ovals. And I think we've just had Mark Morton crash on the track, but now he's managed to bring it back on. This was just a moment ago as he got it fully going again. Looks like it is.
Have to see here what happened.
Yeah, so
he's got some damage to the rear end.
Let's see what happened. This was just getting it wrong there. Coming through the corner again. Huge weight transfer corner there. Easy to throw a little bit too much weight into it and have that truck snap around on you. So he manages to get it going again. Fortunately,
right there as you cut off the camera, that's what his damage came from. He was getting back going, and as he shifted up, the truck kind of snapped on him, and it looked like it was the 10 of Craig Schroeder got into the back of him.
Is maybe this is what we were going to be looking at. Yes, sliding to the side.
He goes around again, yeah.
He had several off tracks, unfortunately, for old Mark Morton there, and looks like that's the same one. So coming back though to the live picture, Mark Morton back underway and trying to get it all sorted out there right now, currently running in the 23rd spot. But back at the front, Jovi Ray has about a 8-car or 8-truck length lead over Brian Jones. Vincent Arthur sitting
we
back
have an
in
issue.
third place.
Dylan Walterman, sorry to interrupt. Something big happened to Dylan Walterman there.
Walterman currently now in 22nd. He did have an off track, so let's see.
And he lost 4 or 5 spots.
See if we can check that out. So Walterman and same exact corner. Once again, it's just one of those ones that catch you out. Certainly, if you don't do a ton of practice, that is one of those corners that is extremely easy to get it wrong, and especially as these tires start to wear here with a little bit of temperature on the track, some of these drivers not going to be expecting the truck to slide sideways on them quite as much as it is.
It's kind of gotten dark out there now. Like there's a lot of cloud cover coming over because the sun is not shining as bright as it was a little bit ago.
No, in fact, this is a road course. Do we have rain in iRacing yet?
I don't think so. But eventually I think we will. But man, it looks dark.
I tell you, that'd be something if they chose this race to unleash the update and all of a sudden it rained and nobody had any idea what to do.
Yeah.
Just come into the pits, I guess, and take on rain tires. I'm not sure. But
I don't even know if they have rain tires.
Right. They would have to put those in with all of the different series, and it'd have to be realistic. I know they don't. The trucks, I'm sure, and the Cup Series, I'm sure, do not have intermediate tires like Formula One has, and I don't even know if IndyCar has intermediates anymore. They did at one point, but I believe they just have full wets at this point.
Yeah, NASCAR, they only have the wet tires, but they actually don't race on the wet, which doesn't really make sense. They only race on damp surfaces, so I would use intermediate instead. But, NASCAR's not too familiar with the road course racing with those tires. So,
well, we've got some bad news for you over there at Full Send Motorsports. Unfortunately, Todd Slauson just a moment ago putting that truck wrong. Let's take a look. This is into turn 1. Slauson with that beautiful number 22, very familiar paint scheme, unfortunately takes a tour out through the grass there. But I
think he's going to go off track again here, maybe in the next corner. We'll have to see here. Maybe not this corner, but he does go off track again, so we'll see what happened to him eventually. But now we're seeing that Ronnie Norman and Steve Henning also went off track. So we'll see what happened to them after we see what happens to Todd here. It's going to be this corner more than likely. No? Okay. Maybe not.
You never can quite tell. I guess I'm guessing no, it's just an errant read from the previous corner. Sometimes our events on our software not perfect to go off of. Unfortunately, it'd be nice if iRacing reported it directly for us, but sometimes they don't. Jared Wishin right now having an off track. We can figure out where he is. There we go. Let's see if we can pull this one up here. Wishin.
This wheel hop's going into that corner, same thing.
Absolutely. Difficult corner to get right every single time, even in the most nimble of cars. And certainly in these trucks and the NASCAR next-gen machines, be an absolute nightmare with their weight transfer. But currently still running in that top 5 position for Wishin, and looking pretty solid out there. So we've got about another 5 laps until these drivers going to be collecting those stage points. So we'll watch and see who's going to try to make a move before then. But so far, it's been all Jovi Ray so far at the front of this one. Now, he does have a rear window filled with Brian Jones back there. You can see that green machine not very far back, and I don't know, it's a little too close for comfort for me, but Jovi Ray handling it beautifully so far, and really getting that Full Send Motorsports machine cranked up. I didn't even know your guys could wrench and have a machine that was this fast on a road course. I had no idea you had that kind of program over there at Full Send.
You know, I'll be honest, I didn't either. You know, Jovi coming into it, he was like, I don't know if I can get you a top 10, but I'll try my best. So I think he lied to me whenever he hopped behind the wheel.
Well, Jovi, you know, this is really interesting because, for example, we know that Vince and Arthur are very skilled. Now, just as I say that, we've got some problems here.
Yeah, this might be a big one here.
Slauson off track with Morton. Did Morton and Slauson, two teammates over at Full Send Motorsports, have it coming together? Let's take a look.
Dylan Walterman also involved. We'll have to see if he's a factor.
There's
gets
Walterman,
around.
And indeed, there it looks like Morton got into the side of him. So
yeah, and then when he gets in the grass there, he tries to get back on the throttle, and it spins him around there. No traction out there in the grass.
Well, unfortunate stuff. I do also have another note. This was not long ago. Cody Reeder, driver we haven't been talking about too much here tonight, but one of the superstars here in the NORA Series, having a little off track, easy to do once again, just before the final corner, and manages to avoid contact there. Another popular driver, Cody Height on YouTube. Looks like trying to make a pass here heading into the corner and just overshoots it into the keyhole. Takes it off track.
I hope he has his flip-flops because he's going to the beach. Oh, we got another crash here. I believe Dylan Walterman.
Walterman and Wishin as well.
Yeah, Wishin as well.
So Wishin, but where's Walterman? I wonder, is he still... He must have managed to handle that. So let's take a look at Wishin's off track.
Oh, man.
I
think that's the 5th truck.
Once again, it's the fastest corner, and you come down to a very hard brake, and then you've got to get that thing turned to the right, and then you've got to slow it down even more and transfer weight over to the left. So very difficult corner to get it exactly right. Let's see what happened to Walterman, though. He just hit that
like little bump on the inside of the corner there, and it sent him around.
Yeah, that actually divides the pit exit from the regular track. That little bump being it's kind of like a sleeping policeman of sorts. So back underway though, and currently Slauson in the 21st position. Wishing quite a ways up the track though, still racing in that 6th position, as looks like Brady Motes has now taken over in 5th. So some good driving for Brady Motes. See, I think that took place when Wishin went off track.
I believe so. And looking up front, Jovi Ray has opened up to a 2-second lead, but we're seeing Brady Motes does pass Wishin right here. Close moment there.
I think that's a different moment than than the one that we saw earlier of Wishin. So Wishin perhaps struggling with these tires as they're starting to go off on these trucks, but Motes, a beautiful job. And I think Morton has had another incident.
And Sean Briscoe too. Unless he's just entering pits. I think he just got passed by a lot of people.
Well, this was Morton a moment ago. And now let's check out Sean Briscoe. Did he mean to come into the pits? Because this is one of those
scheduled stop here.
And there, yes, you're right. He did manage to make a scheduled stop. This is one of those tracks where it's possible to just kind of get it wrong and go out sideways and end up in the pit lane entry, whether you meant to or not. And so looks like Briscoe back underway after his pit stop, and he's the first truck now to have made a pit stop in the running order. So currently sitting in 12th place at the moment. And we'll see how this all works out. So because this is such a large track, I think it just makes sense. Why don't we go ahead and get the track map up there? Now we've had a moment with Josh Conover.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look here. Everett Kraut's also off track.
Couch and Conover both having an off track, and now several trucks running together. This is Harper, Martin, Harper, Height, and Conover all running 1, 2, 3, 4. This is for the 5th position on the track, with Cole Martin at the front of this pack. So let's see if we can tell what happened after a moment. We'll check out this pass here by Conover. Nope. We'll think better of it. So now let's see what happened to Couts. He stepped off the track just a moment ago. Wow, that is a definite spin.
Oh, and there's the crash for Josh. That's what his was there.
Absolutely.
Nowhere to go. Gets into him.
And that's how a couple of different trucks got around. Looks like it's still running the same order as Conover makes his move into a corner that's not a common place to make a pass. And now it looks like Harper doing the same thing. Two very difficult places to make those passes, but they get it done.
I tell you what, keep the camera on these four. These guys are battling right now. Look at this. They are all under a blanket right here. Josh Conover making a move on Cole Martin now to the inside. Let's see if he's able to make it stick in the next corner. He's got that outside lane. He is going to make the pass now. And now you got, I believe that's Cody Height behind Cole Martin trying to go wide. I don't think he tried to. He's going into the pits.
He'll join that pit crew and take on service, as we've now made it to lap number 15. So Jovi Ray, Vincent Arthur, Brian Jones, Brady Moats, and Tim Harper going to be your top 5 for that first stage. Congratulations to them, and to Jovi Ray winning his first stage here in the NORA Truck Series.
Yeah, now Vincent Arthur has gotten by Brian Jones.
I see that
new player coming up to the front here.
So good things happening here in the NORA Truck Series as Vincent Arthur somehow managed to get Brian Jones. Let's back it up and take a look. This was not long ago. I think it looks like Brian Jones maybe stepped off the track. Indeed, he did. Two wheels off, and that was all it took. That grass sucked that truck right down in speed and allowed Vincent Arthur to cruise on by.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the next few laps you see Brian Jones and Vincent Arthur come into the pits. They can get, I think, about 20 to 25 laps on fuel, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Briscoe, obviously the first one to bite earlier. That was a very early pit call from Briscoe. I'm kind of curious as to why he decided to make such an early call. And now you can see Conover has managed to get by Tim Harper. So now Conover up into that 5th position.
Yeah, I thought maybe that radiator damage could affect him from getting into, I believe it was, I forget what car it was. I think it was the 32 truck that got around and he got into the side of him. So I thought maybe that front end damage would hinder his speed, but obviously not, as he gets back up by Tim Harper.
Well, as these two race on, this was just a tight battle a moment ago with Cody Reeder getting by Matthew George for position. That's to get up into that top 10 into 9th spot right now, as Sean Briscoe, who's already made his pit stop, is now currently circulating in 8th place. So we watch on to find out how this is going to stabilize once these drivers make their pit stops and complete this pit cycle. But right now, Sean Briscoe lapping last time a 129.01, and that's to Jovi Ray's 131.24. So Briscoe.
Ooh, we got a sideways Matthew George. He saved it, though.
Definitely almost got away from him, but he managed to save it. George showing some very good truck control, able to keep that truck pointed forward for Flatline Motorsports.
Is that Ronnie Norman about to make a pass for 10th place after wrecking early?
It is indeed. Ronnie Norman has made up a lot of spots, and in fact, he's turning very good times. 129.85, and that is on older tires as well. So Norman putting in some really nice lap times out there, and as a result, I mean, he was all the way back, if you remember, in 18th and 17th place not that long ago. Now here he is knocking on the door for top 10.
And we start to see the sun coming back out, so this track's going to heat back up and make it a little bit more slick. We saw the cloud cover come over and make it a little bit more grippy as we see Cody Reeder off the track. He's going to rejoin, but the 4 of Matthew George going to look to pass him here. Not sure if he's going to be able to make this pass done, but you got to do it before you get up to this corner. Because like you said earlier, too wide down here is not a good idea.
It does not work, certainly through the next corner. There's no way to get 2 trucks efficiently through there as Reeder swings wide.
Oh, man. This is close. They're making it work so far.
They did, but this is the cutoff point right here.
Yeah, Matthew George going to get around them here.
It's just due to the turning radiuses of the corner. The track is wide enough. It's just it turns left twice, and you end up with whoever's on the inside will eventually own that corner. Now, we do have a couple of trucks into the pits. This is Brady Motes now pitting out of 5th position. Josh Conover in that flat line Chevy now pits as well, going to take on service. Back up at the front, Jovi Ray still ahead of Vincent Arthur, Brian Jones, Timothy Harper, and Cole Martin. That is your top 5 at the moment, and there's Sean Briscoe into that 6th spot. So right now he's got a 26-second gap between him and Jovi Ray. I'd say that he's going to come back out in the front when Jovi Ray makes his final pit stop. And right now, Briscoe, last time by 128.79. Jovi Ray, 130.06. So advantage Sean Briscoe with those newer tires.
Yeah, it's very possible he'll be the new leader once this cycle's out, but those tires that are fresh now and making good time, once Jovi Ray, Vincent Arthur, Brian Jones, all those guys come in and pit, they're going to get those fresh tires and be able to pass these guys right back.
Well, we watch on here on lap number 19, Brady Motes out there racing for owners points in the 7th spot for Ready to Wreck Racing, but looking back, it's Jared Wishon for KPR Motorsports and Ronnie Norman, who has gotten into that top 10, currently sitting in 9th place with these couple of pit stops that have happened. Conover came back out in 14th spot. Cody Reeder back in 16th spot at the moment. It looks like Torrance Shirts just a moment ago having an off track. This is coming into the final corner, I believe, and indeed slides that truck off the track.
That's actually, was it the final? It was the final corner.
Well, second to final corner.
Second to last, yeah.
Kind of the final.
We also had an off track with Jared Wishon as well.
And
he's been struggling throughout this race.
I see that. Let's check in on the 196 and see what happened. This is up into the keyhole. And just kind of takes a couple of tires off, manages to keep it straight, but lost a position, I believe. Ronnie Norman taking that position as Jared Wishon had to get it straightened out, and up into 8th place, says Stephen Dombrowski over in our YouTube chat, says, clawing back up, let's go, buddy. Meaning Ronnie Norman, of course, and I'm sure Ronnie Norman carrying a picture of Stephen Dombrowski on his dash. Just keeping him keeping him all jazzed up. Brian Jones going to be stopping into the pits, and Brady Motes almost gets it off track there. There's Brian Jones in that Brian Powell Motorsports number 45 Ford. Brings it back down off the jacks and underway. Here he exits the pits. See that bump on the right-hand side. All clear.
And there's Grumpy Cat.
And Grumpy Cat says hello to all the fans here at the virtual Mid-Ohio racetrack. You know, once again, Christian, sold out crowd here at Mid-Ohio for the NORA Truck Series, and that's pretty much every single race. They just turn out in droves. Really great, exciting stuff to see here in NORA.
You can see all the stands are full, and it's even these guys that are finding spots along the hill to just stand. And then you got obviously all the RVs that are here over the weekend. You see every stand that's on this track is completely full with NORA fans. And I think there's an entire grandstand full of Ronnie Norman fans, as there is every week, as you know.
They all look like Steven Dombrowski, which is really interesting.
Strange. Very strange.
Very strange.
We like to have humor here on VRN.
Absolutely. As much as we can, we do enjoy a good joke or two while we can break there we go. Finally.
There it is.
I was looking for it. But this race has been anything but a joke. It's been an awesome race so far. Jovi Ray showing what he can do on road courses. Last night, taking the Atlanta Motor Speedway from 2008 for the Icon Cup Series, and here tonight in his debut on VirtualRacing.Network for the NORA Truck Series, taking pole position, stunning fashion at the very end of qualifying and putting on a display. And I was going to say just an 1,844 I rating. Now, of course, that does not tell the story of the talent of a driver. A lot of these drivers choosing to do league racing as opposed to going out there doing official racing. But, you know, certainly staying ahead of Vincent Arthur, and we know the type of racing level that Vincent Arthur has been able to do, certainly just on road courses alone. Arthur absolutely dominant on road courses for the Truck Series. So, you know, for Arthur to see somebody the caliber of Ray step up and be able to put a 6.6 second gap on him, I mean, that's pretty surprising stuff to see somebody jump in at this late of a stage just when you think you got these trucks all figured out. Gladelich.
Oh, we have an issue. Yeah, Jacob Gladelich off the track and crashed. I believe Matthew George also off track as well. We'll have to take a look at what happened here.
The Drift King brings it back on. George just now getting that one going again. Let's see if we can tell exactly what happened. But Cole Martin able to get by as Gladelich sends it sideways. That's that corner I was telling you about that has just some incredible weight transfer. This track, from the outside, it's a bit like golf. From the outside, It's kind of like, oh, okay, that looks like fun. But honestly, to drive this track gives you a whole new appreciation for it. Let's see if we can tell what happened with Matthew George. Oh, I think
he's avoiding it. It's into the grass, and then it just goes around because there is absolutely no traction out there.
So George off the track and spins up those Goodyear tires, gets it going once again here for Flatline Motorsports. But unfortunately, George all the way back now in 17th and making his pit stop. So Jovi Ray still out there, still circulating in the 132nd bracket along with Vincent Arthur, both of them in that 130. Timothy Harper now sits in third spot, and as you can see, he's got a rear deck lid filled with Sean Briscoe. There's Briscoe's Toyota, now going to be very easily perhaps able to get up onto the side of Tim Harper. There he goes by. Briscoe in that in and out machine. says, watch my burger buns go by you. And he moves ahead.
He went inside of him, and then he went out.
And then he went outside.
Yeah. I tell you what, I talked to Josh Conover a couple weeks ago whenever the Cup Series was heading to Chicago, I think it was, and I talked to him and I was like, I'm going to try to get a road course ringer to come over, and he told me absolutely not. And I want to tell him, if he's watching the broadcast back, I in no way knew that Jovi Ray was going to have an 8-second lead. He told me he was not good at road courses, so he did lie to me.
Well, again, you wouldn't know it by his iRating,
right?
But
that's what I thought. I saw it, and I was like, okay, well, he's not going to be a dominant force. And he comes out here, and now it's an 8.2-second lead. He is pulling away from Vincent.
Well, and once again, you just don't know. Tim Harper now choosing to bring it into the pits, but you just don't know until you've ridden the high of winning a big race. Boy, it feels like you're just untouchable. Anything you can go out there and drive the next day, you're just like, I can do anything with this truck or this car. So perhaps that's a little bit what's going on. Jovi Ray having some super confidence heading into today's race. Or perhaps he's just much better at road courses than he even knows. But he's finding out here tonight. And once again, we've seen what Vincent Arthur has managed to do to the competition. Even Harper having some good runs out here on road courses as of late. So interesting to see that Ray able to jump out to such a big lead. So these drivers going to be going to lap number 35 here. And that will be the end of stage number 2. So about another 11 laps. We'll be starting to look at who's going to be able to take those bonus points for winning that stage. And finally, Jovi Ray, your race leader, pulls it down onto pit lane.
Yeah, and Vincent Arthur also going to follow him, so I'm guessing that 25 laps is the max that you can get out of your fuel tank.
So we'll keep that in mind heading forward. Jovi Ray taking a sip out of the drink bottle. Down off the jacks and away once again. Looked like he clipped the grass there just a little bit, but manages to get it going again. Clear track ahead.
You can hear those Borla exhausts motoring down the straightaway here.
But you see,
plug.
Exactly. For Full Send Motorsports, always got to get those sponsor plugs in there. Sean Briscoe out to a 4-second lead after that exchange of pit stops. Briscoe out of Fair Oaks, California, the 33-year-old playing that card very well. We'll have to see whether or not he can maintain. He came in so long ago. He came in on lap 12. So he's been out there a long time on these tires, and we'll see whether or not Jovi Ray is going to be able to start clawing into that lead fairly quickly. But the undercut advantage belongs to Sean Briscoe, and Brian Jones right on his tail as well. So Jones was chasing down Jovi Ray. Now Jones is chasing down Briscoe. Now we've seen this before, Jones chasing down Briscoe. Very familiar story here in the NORA Truck Series.
Yeah, and Brian Jones has slightly newer tires, I believe, than Sean Briscoe. And you can see he gained a little bit of time that lap, I believe. Yeah, he was a little bit quicker, 1.1 second quicker, actually, than Sean Briscoe. And behind them, you got Jovi Ray, who has knocked that gap down to about 2 seconds now. So Jovi Ray, obviously, very fresh tires, trying to track these guys down.
Well, we just had this happen a moment ago while we can catch it. I saw someone else off track there. I believe that was Craig Schroeder. Now Tim Harper has put it sideways and off track. He'll bring that truck back around and get it back on track. And we come back to this lead battle that's going on, and those newer tires may be what's responsible for this. But either way, we've got a battle for the lead on our hands. This is Briscoe and Jones going to be battling just like the old days here in NORA.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Brian Jones is able to get around him easy, but he's got to do it quick because Jovi Ray is coming quick. He is now within 1 second of them.
You can see just how close that gap has gotten between these three. We're about to have a three-way battle here for the lead at Mid-Ohio. Stay tuned. May not be Briscoe atop the win column for stage number 2 quite yet, as Jovi Ray looks to possibly have a say in that matter. Brian Jones now has to shift focus from trying to get by Briscoe. I think maybe that was part of the urgency, was he knew that Ray was coming, saw him in the relatives, and said, if I can just get up in front of Briscoe, I know that I can use Briscoe kind of as a pick for a little bit on Ray.
Yeah, Jovi Ray 1.6 seconds quicker than Brian Jones that last lap, so this should be a relatively easy pass for Jovi to set up here. We'll see how long it takes him to get by these guys, because catching them's one thing, passing's another at this track.
Indeed, not many places to get by, so you're going to have to work it no matter whether...
Something to note, Vincent Arthur just went fastest time of the race. I believe that last lap. No, it was a couple of laps ago. Vincent Arthur's the fastest truck out here, so he's not out of this either.
Well, Arthur's got a ways to make up. He's still 7.8 seconds back, but we'll watch and see. He came in the same lap that Jovi Ray did, so theoretically, same tire situation. As we watch on board with Ray and tries to size up our points leader, Brian Jones, who's currently running in second place.
Yeah, this entire lap, he's just been right on his bumper. There's just not that many places to pass without doing it dirty, so... Jovi Ray, more than likely the type of guy not to move somebody. He's going to, try to make friends here on his debut and pass as clean as he can as he spins the tires out of that corner, gets real loose.
Well, and I was going to say, you could just see in the cornering in there, Ray getting wide into the first corner. Jovi Ray, having the better tires, he's going to be able to corner a bit better, perhaps on entry, and that's exactly what we saw back there, is he really had to get on the binders to avoid hitting Brian Jones heading into the corner. So we'll see whether or not all three of these drivers can steer clear of each other, but the impetus is on Jovi Ray to make that clean pass, the newcomer here to the NORA Truck Series.
He peaked.
He peaked, but he did not make the lunge, did not do the full send, but it's maybe a matter of time. Oh, yeah, I believe he may have gotten into the back of Jones, or Jones got loose there.
I think he got really, really close, but I don't think he made contact. Jones just a little bit heavy on the throttle, getting sideways. He is pushing this thing as hard as he can to try to keep in front of Jovi, but this is allowing Vincent Arthur to slowly reel these guys in. Last lap, he was 1.5 seconds quicker than Jovi Ray, so he is coming into this picture now, only 6 seconds back.
5.6 seconds and closing between Jovi Ray and Vincent Arthur. Got a note in the YouTube chat room. Bremkamp wants to know, how is Torrin Shirts doing? Shirts is back here in 16th place. We'll get to him in just a second. He's got quite a gap. Looks like he's got about a second gap over Matthew George. And he's got about 15 seconds or so up in front of him to Stephen Henning. But right now, this is the battle to stay on here as 1, 2, 3. It looks like Jones perhaps trying to give another chance to make this pass. Like I said, he knows if he can get by Briscoe, and there he goes by.
This is a dangerous corner to do it in. Let's see if he's able to make it stick. Briscoe going to cross him over and go to the outside here in this corner. And not going to be able to do it. Brian Jones kind of brake checks and waits a little bit in that corner so that Sean Briscoe can't cross him back over. And now Jovi Ray going to be on the back bumper of Brian Jones here.
Well, Ray forced the issue, and they basically ended up freight training Sean Briscoe. And that was exactly what Ray needed to do, because he did not want to get stuck behind Sean Briscoe and have to wait to make a pass on him. So now, if Ray wants to do it, he's going to have to do it pretty soon, because his new tire advantage is wearing off fairly quickly. He's going to have to try to get a pass done here in the next lap or two. I was going to say the place to do it is really coming out of the keyhole, and it looks like Jones gets sideways.
That time there was a little bit of contact. We'll have to see if Brian Jones defends pretty heavily here. Joey Ray going to make a pass on the outside in turn one. That's an impressive pass to make.
That was definitely an impressive pass, and no, Jones gave him a little bit of room. We know that Jones has gotten a little upset with some contact in the past and not exactly been the first one to let it go, but he learns from it here, and Jones knows that he's got it made. He's already in the playoffs. He's leading the points for the regular season. Joey Ray, no threat to any of that. So no real reason to fight Joey Ray in this particular race other than a matter of pride. And right now looks like Craig Schroeder having a moment as Cody Height is also into the pits.
Well, I'll tell you what, looking at points, Sean Briscoe kind of in need of that win still. But, we talk about these guys coming out for owners' points. These guys don't go for the championship, so him winning isn't going to affect Sean Briscoe at all, so he's kind of happy with it too.
That is true as well. Obviously, Briscoe is, we say this every race, I cannot believe that Briscoe does not have a win yet this season. He's been in that top 2, top 3. He's led so many races. It's unbelievable that Briscoe has not been in the winner column, but I'd be interested to see how many podium positions he's had this season, because I would say it's been many of the races that he's been in. We wanted to take a look at Torrance Schertz and his battle going on back here in 15th with Matthew George, and there you can see it. This is quite the hefty battle for BS Motorsports team and Flatline Motorsports with Matthew George, but sadly it's all the way back in 15th, so not sure that it's gonna, for as far as the points go, that it's gonna matter too much to Torrance, but you got to get every single point that you can. I mean, Torrance right there on the bubble. He still needs to stay up there in the points, and after all, he actually really needs to get a win if he wants to make sure that he gets in. So can't win it if you're not in it, and you got to stay in it. The top 14 drivers crash out, well, then you got to win. I don't know.
I think currently he's 3 points out of the playoffs, so he doesn't only have to win, he has to get some points and get back up there.
Now, how is that possible? I thought he was... I'd have to go back and look at their calculation, because I had thought that he was in the playoffs and that he was right on the bubble. He was the last one possibly to get it, so I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, looking here, there's 7 winners and only 10 drivers are making it into the playoffs. So the 3 drivers that are in on points are Sean Briscoe, Tim Harper, and Cody Reeder. Torrance Schertz 3 points behind Cody Reeder. So with Cody being in this race and Torrance Schertz, they're battling for the last position with only 2 races after this one.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the... I think I'm looking... I don't know if this is current. June 13th. Maybe that's not current. So I see you're correct now. In fact, looking at the updated points, it is Cody Reeder who sits in 10th place. And you're right. Torrance Schertz is 3 points back now looking at those updated points. So interesting stuff. Never mind what we posted ahead of time. Schertz needs some points, and he's going to have to get him over Cody Reeder. And right now, Reeder is sitting back here in 12th, and Torrance Schertz is back in 15th. So Schertz, he just needs a few positions, but he would be able to potentially get up there and do it. Now, at the same time, we've just seen this pass happen. Sean Briscoe has been passed by Vincent Arthur.
Yeah, Vincent Arthur on those newer tires trying to get up there. He's going to make easy work here of Sean Briscoe, as he's going to go wide in turn 2, I believe that is, and is going to get around him here. And that's actually the next to last corner. Those corners do look a lot similar.
They do have some definite similarities. And also, I believe that Tim Harper just got around Ronnie Norman. That's for 9th place out there. But Jovi Ray really had to get moving because Vincent Arthur on the same tire strategy as him. And just now we can see Ronnie Norman coming into the pits back there in the background. But Jovi Ray really had to get around Brian Jones and Sean Briscoe because knowing that Vincent Arthur was on that same tire strategy, he had clear track. He was carving and cutting through this Mid-Ohio sports car course and was closing that gap in a hurry. And now that Jovi has gotten out there into some clean air, back down into the 128 second range, and Arthur in the low 129. So everything kind of stabilizing as far as that gap goes. But if he hadn't been able to get by Jones and Briscoe, for example, Jones doing 130.20 right now. So if Ray had not gotten around, Arthur would be, be right now getting the back door knocked on by Vincent Arthur, because here comes Arthur on the backside of Jones.
Yeah, he's been having a little bit of a struggle this past lap trying to get around Brian Jones. So we're going to see how quick Vincent can get around him here now that he's got clean track ahead of them. They were dealing with the lap truck of Craig Schroeder for the last final of corners that last lap. But now, no lap truck ahead of them. They're going to see if they can settle this thing this lap and get Vincent into second.
Well, and again, if Arthur wants to have a shot at this one, he's going to have to get by Jones, because that gap is now growing once again, up now over 5.4 seconds. So same effect happening here. Jones, this is one of those... road courses bring it out the best, but it can happen on ovals where a driver is just fast enough. They may not be faster than you due to tire strategy. Here comes Vincent Arthur. Beautiful move down the inside. Jones saw it coming, left him plenty of room, but a fantastic pass there by Vincent Arthur. And he's going to now set sail for Jovi Ray, but I do wonder whether or not he's going to be able to haul in Jovi. Jovi now setting a 129.09. We'll have to see what Arthur can do on the very next lap. But now Jovi getting caught up in a little bit of lap traffic. That will hurt his lap times. On a road course, it can be where it's just the driver in front. They may be slower perhaps through the corners, but there's nothing you can do with that. Like, it's practically impossible to get a run on somebody through the corners and you certainly can't get a pass done that way. You got to get a pass done on a straight. So just because you can corner a little bit faster with fresher tires does not guarantee you a pass as soon as you get up to the back of somebody. And that's exactly what we're seeing with somebody as skilled as Brian Jones. He gets off the corners just fast enough to make it very difficult going down that long straightaway to make a pass. If you're going to gain time on him, it's going to be in the middle of the corner, but he sure knows how to enter and exit corners very well. So we see.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the last lap of stage 2, I believe.
Indeed, you're right. It's lap number 35, so this is this would be the first lap of stage 3. Now that they've crossed the start-finish line, all 5 of the top drivers. So Ray, Arthur, Jones, Briscoe, and Motes. That is your top 5. And Ray gets it sideways coming off the final corner. Going to be about time for some of these drivers at the front to be heading in there for a pit stop. Sean Briscoe dropping a 130.76 that time by, and he last came in on lap number 12, so already working 26 laps on these tires. It looks like Briscoe's going to need to make a pit stop anytime now.
Some people aren't going to be happy with me for this opinion, but I kind of like for road courses to have that like mid-caution to restack the entire field, get them all back together, and go at it. This type of racing isn't like the GT3 type racing, the Formula One. The being grouped together is what NASCAR is about, not this, 8-second lead strategy. So I kind of like the stage cautions at road courses, but some people are very against it. I know in real life they did have the stage cautions here at Mid-Ohio, so I was curious how Josh was going to handle it. But before the race, he did tell me no cautions here tonight.
Well, just like you said, in the end, the drivers all have to deal with it one way or the other, and everybody has the same thing to contend with. So if you're going to have long green runs, you got to plan for long green flag runs. If there's going to be cautions that could bring everybody back together, then obviously that is going to throw a whole big kink into it. And certainly even if there's just the stage cautions to group everybody back up, that would be a whole different kind of race, because you can plan for that. I mean, you can plan to make pit stops around that. You can plan to set yourself up for the final stage, as we often do see here in NORA for the final stage. Drivers will sacrifice the second stage in order to position themselves perfectly for the third stage. But you've got a fan over here in Stephen Dombrowski, that's for sure. He says, I agree. So, Christian, you've got at least somebody out there who agrees with you. And that's,
it's just the whole stock car racing aspect. This type of racing is known for, bumping, banging, even at road courses. That's why they always group them up. As we have a possible issue here. Matthew George may have just crashed. We'll have to check that out.
See if we can get a camera over there. There's Matthew George, indeed, mowing some lawn.
I do not think Kyle Busch will be happy with that, having Rowdy Energy on that truck mowing grass.
Well, you gotta stay awake somehow when you're out there mowing the lawn. But George out of Pennsylvania, this style of racing's not exactly his cup of tea, as he gets it going again and out there in the 15th position. Also, I don't know if it's just our graphics or something, but he's missing the banner for NORA. Is that an optional thing?
He might have had to download a truck last minute. That could be the issue. And wasn't able to get the NORA banner on there.
That's right. We were talking
he
about
doesn't
that.
typically run down here in the Truck Series. So.
That's right. And so it is great to have Matthew George out there in the field. And that's the thing, that in NASCAR, especially as they started road course racing, of course, now it's become so commonplace that most of the drivers that are in NASCAR actually have quite a bit of experience in road courses with NASCARs at this point. But at least in the beginning, you had these pretty much predominantly only left-turning drivers having to learn how to turn right. I mean, it's a foreign concept. There's so much weight transfer, so much trail braking. Braking, obviously, to begin with, is not that common on most ovals. So, for George and anybody else who's just coming out here, it's not your cup of tea to do road course racing, but you're willing to give it a shot. We salute you here. And we of course, it's always a good way to come out. Usually, less trucks, less cars going to be out, just because that's usually the week that some of the drivers say, hey, I'm going to skip that week. So it's usually a good week to get some points. Of course, he's just racing for owner points, but still usually a good time to come out and test your skills and try and improve a little bit. So either way, great to have him out here.
I was going to say, in 3 weeks, I have a road course race that I have to do, so that's going to be a nightmare for me. It's Watkins Glen, though. It's kind of the least road course there is in NASCAR, if that makes sense. It kind of handles like an oval at some of the corners, so it should be fun. But we're going to see Torn Shirts go into the sand trap. He is not making sandcastles, ladies and gentlemen. That is not what you want to do over there.
Well, I'm wondering how many beach jokes we're going to get in here today. I hope he brought his umbrella and sunglasses.
There's one.
But Shirts is having he's still out there in 15th place. And, again, he's doing everything that he can, and we laugh here in the booth, but as I was saying, it's a handful to drive one of these trucks around here. I mean, of course, Ray's out there trying to make it look easy, but at the same time, it is a handful to keep that concentration, and it from driving ovals, just to stay concentrated for 67 laps around a track like this. So many different corners, especially if you're not familiar with Mid-Ohio as a racetrack. Very difficult to remember all of those muscle memory of rights and lefts and braking and accelerating and weight transfer. It's all very difficult to get right. But certainly Watkins Glen, as we see Sean Briscoe now in the pits, so coming in after about 28 laps, I believe it is. Briscoe going to head back out there.
Watkins Glen's going to be coming up for the Cup guys on Tuesday nights here soon, so those guys are going to have to deal with Watkins Glen here very shortly. But this track, it's one of my favorites. I do enjoy it. I really do wish the trucks would go back to Canadian Tire. That track I absolutely love, so would love to see that track maybe back into the rotation next season in the Truck Series, because that track has had the most phenomenal finishes in NASCAR history, I would say.
Absolutely, and again, I do, as a road course racer, I do really appreciate seeing NASCAR stretching their disciplines out there and getting onto more of these tracks. And I also love Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, as it's known in the old days, Mosport, but tricky track, that one as well. IMSA was just out there this last weekend and put on a great show, and it would be cool to see the trucks out there. Watkins Glen, another great classic track. Formula One's been there, IndyCar's been there, NASCAR's been there, and one of those, as you said, one of those tracks that it's fairly easy. The corners are fairly easy laid out, but it's still a road course, and it's a lot of fun. And I think just about everybody who is even a little bit inclined to want to drive road courses loves Watkins Glen. A couple of different varieties available there to the different series, between the boot layout and the full cup layout, and the classic layout as well, available with and without that butt stop chicane. So it's always great, and I always love going back there. And again, also a chance to visit New York, which there's not a lot of racing at the top level going on in New York, and always great chance to get back into New York State.
Yeah, me and my friend were actually talking the Chicago street course. With that happening, New York would be an amazing street course to have if they were able to somehow shut down like Times Square for at least one day. That is a great hairpin corner to have there in Times Square. So hopefully in the future they can maybe get a track in New York City.
I mean, you wouldn't have thought they could shut down the strip in Formula One in Las Vegas, but they're going to do exactly that next year. You never know what could happen. I know that over the years there's been 2 or 3 different proposed sites in New York City for both IndyCar and most recently Formula One. But that would be quite phenomenal. Watkins Glen actually used to be a real road race, and back in the day when it was just like you just picked out some public roads and you said, okay, everybody, this is where we're racing. As we watch Arthur there clip a corner and get it a little sideways, he's going to gather it back together.
He is pushing that for everything it's worth. He was kind of running down Jovi Ray, but now he has lost about a second in those last 3 corners just from that little slip up. So you got to be almost perfect out here to get the absolute best lap, as we see him sliding again there through that corner. So the tire's starting to give up here. If you want to make it to the end on fuel, this is going to be the lap to pit. We saw them make it 25 laps the first time, so we are at about 26 to go here, coming to get 25 to go. So this is the time to pit if you want to make it to the end.
You can just see how full Vincent Arthur's hands are with this truck. I mean, this is just a handful. You can see very comfortable with the truck, and a little bit of slip angle on those tires coming through the corner. And
yeah, we can ride on board with him for this lap and see how he handles it. Look at this through turn, I believe this is turn 2. He's going to whip it back to the left. That's a lot of tire spin coming out of that corner. And this one we've seen a lot of trouble with throughout the day, so we'll see if he has any trouble getting into this corner with the steering wheel maybe going a little bit left instead of right here on the entry. You can see he's already moving it. There it goes.
A solid correction coming through the corner, and definitely looks like he's setting the car, setting that truck coming through the corner before on entry, doing a little bit of a shake of the wheel towards the corner, towards the apex to get the truck set into the corner, and then steps on that gas. You can see coming through Thunder Valley. Now, as he heads towards the very final section of this track, this is a very difficult corner right here, and this whole complex is extremely difficult to get right here. Hard on the brakes, hard turning, very slow speed. Got to stay off of that curb, get on the gas, but not too much so you don't spin up those tires, and back onto that front straight and across the start-finish line. Tricky stuff, but it looks like Vincent Arthur is doing a fabulous job out here holding down second place, and he is very slowly chipping into this lead from Jovi Ray. So
yeah. And speaking of Jovi Ray, I can promise you Vincent Arthur not the only one that's having that type of wheel corrections. Jovi Ray out there also struggling with the same thing. You'll see it as we ride on board with him. Watch the wheel as he comes into this corner. He's also going to do that whip it to the left here because it's going to get loose on him. You'll see right there. He's going to get loose too. So it's not only Vincent Arthur. Everyone is dealing with the same thing out here today.
And some of that is going to come down to driving style. You see Jovi more than happy to take a little bit more curbing than Arthur does. It just comes down to what you're comfortable with. A lot of wheel spin there coming through that section, and now into Thunder Valley. Over the rumble strip on the outside and carrying a lot of speed through this section. Hard on the brakes. Have to set the truck just right for this double right-hander here, blind double right-hander at that, and then very quickly you've got to get back on the gas to the left. Again, you can't afford for the truck to be even the slightest amount askew coming through that section, because if you do, by the time it's time to get back on that gas, you're going to spin that truck right around. So really tricky sections here at Mid-Ohio, and that's part of what I'm talking about. You got to get behind the wheel and really experience this place to get the full scope of how difficult it is to make it around this track.
And we have Brian Jones entering the pit. He's going to be able to make it on fuel here the rest of the way, so he's trying to short pit again to try to get the lead and then try to hold off Jovi Ray after the round of pit stops here. We'll see if it worked. We saw that it didn't really work last time for him and Sean Briscoe, so we'll see if it works this time.
Jones back underway. That back in 5th place. Just behind Briscoe, about 4.5 seconds. So
4.5 seconds ahead of him. I think he short pitted again. I don't think he can make it on 25 laps of fuel. I think he's going to run out.
That's very likely, with Briscoe coming in on 39.
Yeah, definitely not going to be able to make it from there, I don't think.
59, 67.
Oh,
no,
Brian Jones off track.
Yeah, Brian Jones off track. No, I'm not sure because 39. I mean, because he has to get to 67, and I think he could 28, and that's what he did before. Briscoe did, but certainly the usable part of these tires is right where Brian Jones just came into the pits, and I expect that Jovi Ray is going to be coming in anytime as well to get that final stop done. Now, of course, the longer that they stay out, the easier it is, as now Cole Martin is going to pull it in from the 4th spot where he was racing for the JRC Sim team. You'll see Brian Jones go by out there, but the longer that they can go, the less fuel that they need to take. And so technically, the shorter the stop will be for these drivers.
But you see, back on board here, or not back on board, but back up to Jovi Ray. He's going to be in lap traffic there with Cody Height here in a little bit, but shouldn't be too much of a factor at this point in the race. I think Cody Height's going to be able to stay ahead of him for a few more laps, actually. And then you'll see Jovi come into the pits around 20 to go, maybe 15 to go, if he stretches it. If I was Jovi, though, I would pit earlier, but I talked to him about that today. I told you last night. I said, I don't like Jovi staying out this long. It's not a good idea. And Jovi laughed at me today and said it ended up working out last night, so we'll see how it goes today.
And that's why we're sitting up in the booth and he's out there winning races, I guess.
Right.
But Jovi Ray doing what he wants to do here so far tonight. He's cleaned up in the first couple of stages and right now holding on strong here in the final stage. Just 21 laps remaining for Jovi Ray to so far sweep the first 2 races of the 3 races here for this week on VirtualRacing.Network, and that would be something else. But once again, anything can happen in 20 laps, and that's still a long time to hold on to this truck around this very twisty track.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've had 3 races in 1 week, and Jovi trying to be the first person to ever sweep all 3, as he may run tomorrow. We'll find out.
Well, that would be something else. Do you know something that I don't know? Has Jovi already? Have you been talking with Jovi about running tomorrow night?
Not. No way. I don't know what you're talking about.
Certainly not after his performance tonight and last night at Atlanta. Well, where's the Cup Series racing tomorrow night?
That would be Atlanta, Trevor.
Something to consider indeed. And in the meantime, we've had Dylan Walterman stepping off the track here. This was just a moment ago. Sideways in that final section of the track. Number 1 machine back underway again. No real harm, no foul.
I will say, Trevor, we are going to Atlanta tomorrow, but it is technically a different track, so it would be 3 different tracks if Jovi does come out tomorrow night.
It's true, and basically the track does race very differently than its predecessor did. So that would be something else. Now we'll take a look over here. This is Cole Martin. He gets quite sideways there in the number 9 Ford.
Yeah, that's for JRC Sim. They're having a little bit of a rough night, which is unusual for them. Usually we do see JRC Sim up in the top 10 with all 4 of their trucks in the top 10, but road course doesn't seem to be the specialty for the JRC Sim chassis.
Certainly not, and as we wait for the top 2 to make their final pit stop, I think we're going to see possibly Briscoe take that position back once again, and then the race will be on. If I were Jovi, I might hop into the pits right now and take tires, because why not? And you would come back out basically in the lead, and you'd have brand new tires. You'd be able to smoke the competition, but the longer that he stays out there, the more he's giving Sean Briscoe a chance to chip into this lead. Just my 2 cents. Just what I would do if I was noticing what was going on. In fact, if I were Vincent Arthur, I might do the same. I might just come in right now and that give me a chance. And if I did that, I would expect that if Jovi is watching, he would have to respond the very next lap just to cover Vincent Arthur. But so far, no budging from Ray or from Vincent Arthur. And we'll watch on to see whether or not they do. In the meantime, the Drift King drifting off track.
Yeah, coming to get 20 to go, and he is drifting. He is the Drift King.
He is the Drift King, and he'll bring it back on track. And you're absolutely right. It's just a lap ago. It was 20 laps to go, And you know what that means?
I do.
It's the Snyder Graphics 20 laps to go segment brought to you by Snyder Graphics. That's facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. We have a yellow flag.
We have a caution. Wow. This is interesting.
I was not expecting that there would be cautions. Is there a caution?
I believe there's a caution.
So this is our last reported incident.
I believe iRacing threw it here.
Walterman was stopped. I believe that's Craig Schroeder. And I'm guessing we're going to see the leaders drive through at some point. This is something crazy because this is going to catch out Jovi Ray. Ray is going to have to pit, and he's going to lose all kinds of time. So is Vincent Arthur. Briscoe is going to come out a hero here, as is Brian Jones, as is Brady Motes. Oh, this is going to shake things up dramatically. I do not have an exact reason for that yellow flag. I'm
curious if maybe it was an admin called caution. Because I think they might have a rule that if there are 3 or more cars involved in the wreck, they will throw a caution. So there were 3 cars in that corner. So maybe that is the possibility. I'll have to get clarification later on to see if that is the reason.
Well, as we are under 20 laps to go, Snyder Graphics, facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. That is the place to get your custom wraps made. And of course, Full Send Motorsports, fantastic place to showcase those wraps. Certainly this Borla paint job looking pretty awesome out there. And you can just imagine your favorite business or sponsor going on to whatever kind of design you want on your truck, on your car, whatever it is for iRacing. Snyder Graphics is your guy. So head on over to facebook.com/Snyder Graphics today. And I think you'll be talking with some guy named Christian who does this
no
stuff.
idea who he is.
Yeah, you've got a whole team of guys named Christian over there. It's like you've got 10 guys named Christian making paint schemes. Well, here comes Jovi Ray in, and everybody deciding to come down pit lane all the way back to 6th place. And that's going to leave Everett Couts still out there. He came in last on lap number 36. He won't be able to make it. Timothy Harper won't be able to make it. Cody Height is...
Well, they're still catching up. I don't know if they're going to be able to pass the leaders by the time they come out of pits.
That's a good question. We'll take a look at Jovi Ray. Will he be the first one off of pit lane?
Yes.
Or did Vincent Arthur beat him? He just barely got out ahead of Vincent Arthur. The question
Briscoe
is...
beat Jones. Oh, what? Something happened to Jones because now Cody Height passed him.
Absolutely. Well, Height stayed out on track.
Also, is Height going to be allowed passing Vincent Arthur and Jovi Ray here since he stayed out? Or is it where they come out of pit road at?
It's literally where they come out of pit road, and honestly, that's where Height should have, if he had the audacity to do so, he should have stepped on the loud pedal a little bit faster, and he could have beat all these cars around. But the problem for Height, and now he's...
There was somebody sitting on the access road. I think that's Tim Harper. I think he took a shortcut. Not sure what happened there.
Well, now Height going up to the 4, so he's going to be up at the front of this one. But again, the problem for Height is that he's on significantly older tires here. And we also... Is this a problem for Ronnie Norman? Does he just pull it over and park it? He kind of does. Is he just...
No, taking a shortcut.
Ronnie? He's looking for directions, I guess.
He got lost.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that. That may black flag you. I'm not sure. That's a shortcut through the track. That may have hurt
Josh
him.
does have the option to clear black flags, so he probably cleared them just to... he probably told everybody to use that access road to get caught up. Is more than likely what happened.
Well, we are under caution here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Just under 20 laps to go, about 16 laps to go. This should be very exciting as the field reforms up for the start this very next lap. We're going to step aside for just a moment, catch our breath, and get ready to watch the end of this race here on VirtualRacing.Network. Don't go anywhere, folks. I'm looking forward to this, to the end of welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network as Cody Height is about to lead this restart here with just 15 laps to go. He's going to have Vincent Arthur going to try everything he can to get by very quickly. I do still see the yellow.
Lights are back on.
Yeah, the lights are back on, so I'm not sure. I guess we're going to do some reordering here at the front, but this should be very exciting. We also have Jovi Ray currently sitting. He was sitting in third. Now at the moment being shown in fourth, but I believe he's going to restart in third spot. So really it didn't hurt Jovi as bad as you would have thought because everybody came into the pits at the same time. So that was just something else. And we're still waiting for official word as to the exact cause of this caution, but as Christian...
I did get that.
Oh, you did? What is the determination?
The 10 car lost control and had significant contact with another car, and they were blocking the track. We did see that the 1 was also involved and was blocking the track, but the 10 was the cause of the caution.
So Craig Schroeder causing that issue. And that's some interesting stuff. Let's see if we can jump back here. We'll just see one more time. There you can see these trucks all kind of having an incident. So this was the start of that incident. As we roll this forward here, Schroeder and there's Walterman. So Schroeder into Walterman, heavily into the wall.
Yeah. So I can see why that was a caution. 2 cars sideways in front of quite a few trucks there. So that was the incident that brought it out.
Well, back to the live screen, and the lights are off on the pace car. This time, it's going to be Cody Height. Cody Height on YouTube, as he's known, who is racing out there for owner's points, but he's got a stream going on YouTube right now, and this would be something else if he could somehow take the victory here tonight. Unfortunately, he did not come in for a pit stop this last time, so he's going to be on substantially older tires, and that means that Vincent Arthur, Jovi Ray, Brian Jones, Sean Briscoe, and Josh Conover all going to have a chance to try to take that position away. Green flag once again, and we are underway here at Mid-Ohio. Cody Height holding on to the inside as Vincent Arthur tries the outside. Just behind, it's Jovi Ray into the corner, and several trucks make contact. It's Vincent Arthur around.
Oh, he gets hit.
Vincent Arthur
caution.
stuck in the back. Cody Height gets through Josh Conover into second, and
Now
the caution comes back out.
I think Brian Jones was the one who made contact with Vincent Arthur and turned him. I don't think it was intentional, but I think he just overdrove the corner entry and got into the back of Vincent Arthur and sent him around.
Let's take a look. We'll see if we can get a clearer shot here, and we'll be able to tell exactly who makes contact with whom, but maybe we need to go back just a little bit from that point and see if we can tell.
I think we were about to... Oh, he did get him again here. He taps him once right there, and then you'll see him move to the inside, make it 3 wide, and just gets into Vincent and turns him.
Well, by that point,
right
Vincent was going kind of sideways, so his speed would have slowed through the corner, and at that point, I don't know that Jones could have done anything other than just jump on the brakes, but what a terrible turn of events for the Flatline Motorsports driver to go all the way from what he was looking at possibly taking the lead all the way back now to 12th place, and that is going to open this one up for Josh Conover and Jovi Ray to potentially take over the lead from Cody Height. But Height did a fantastic job on that restart, really held his own, and managed to get a very clean start. So we'll see whether or not he can manage to do so here. We're going to step aside one more time. We'll be right back here in just a moment. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss it if these restarts are anything like the last one. We're in for a real treat. Stay tuned. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. It's been one heck of a ride so far here for round number 14 at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. And this is the NORA Truck Series 2023. Hey, you enjoying this show? Make sure to smash that subscribe button. And also, if you do like what we're doing out here tonight on the VirtualRacing.Network, we'd appreciate a like as well. Helps us to get out there and get seen by even more folks like yourself who do like a good race or two in their face. And in the meantime, I believe my compadre, Christian Snyder's had a chance to catch up with Josh Conover and get a chance to have him join us here for a little chat.
Yeah, let's see if he's available for an interview. Josh Conover, it's Christian and Trevor up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah.
Well, you got 1 to green here, so we'll try to keep this short. But where did you come from, man? You're all of a sudden in contention for this win here in second place.
Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm definitely not going to stay up here. Jovi's more than likely going to take it and run away with it. But, yeah, I don't know. Kind of looked like Cody and Jovi missed the entry into one, and I kind of tucked in on the bottom and got lucky missing that wreck.
All right, well, we'll have to go here because there was just an incident in the rear of the field. We'll let you go, and good luck to you the rest of the run. But let's try to win this thing, man. I'm hoping that you get at least a podium out of this, man.
A podium would be nice. Kind of didn't put in any practice, so kind of shot myself in the foot. But I've been just struggling. Can't find the pace. So we'll see if I can find something here.
All right, well, good luck on this restart, man.
Thank you.
We had to cut that interview short because Jacob Gladelich goes around and collects Vincent Arthur here. You see him in the sand, and as he's getting back on track, it looks like he gets into torn shirts, and then as he's backing up, he hits Vincent Arthur here.
Well,
so Vincent Arthur can't catch a break.
I mean, it goes from bad to worse for poor Vincent Arthur, and unfortunately for Jacob Gladelich, the same thing. Now Arthur sitting back here.
Is that going to delay the caution, or are we going green here?
No, they did delay the caution. They said we're not going green this time, so it's like they're going to re-rack them here for the NORA Truck Series and see if we can get this going once again. I think Arthur going to be able to continue with whatever damage he has on board right now. Taking a look at that truck, and it's hard to believe that he was just up in the front 2 positions not long ago, as he now sits all the way back in 11th after that round of pit stops. But not too far for Arthur, with his caliber to be able to slice and dice and make some passes. The unfortunate part is just going to be 9 laps to go when they turn him loose here, assuming that we actually get turned loose this time by. So he's going to have a limited runway to work with, so to speak. But
yeah, I'm impressed with how Conover has run here, because in the past he has said that he does not like Mid-Ohio. He just said that he didn't practice much here throughout the week. So being up in second place right now is basically a win for him. So really impressed with how he's been today. Not many off tracks for him. We'll see how he does here on the restart as we're coming up through the I don't know what you call this, but I call it the S's.
Well, that was Thunder Valley back there, and now we're just coming to this final section on the track. Just about to turn them loose once again here. It'll be 9 laps to go. We'll see if we can keep it going this time. Cody Height going to be leading them back. The green flag is back out. Cody Height gets it back going again. Josh Conover alongside as we're going to head down into turn 1. Sean Briscoe sticks in behind Cody Height, and the top positions managed to make it through. Conover out in the grass. Sean Briscoe now takes a look around the outside.
Oh, look at Jovi Ray. He's in the 3. He chose better of it.
Briscoe holds to the outside in the keyhole. Jovi Ray now tucks in alongside of Josh Conover. as they head down the backstretch. It's Cody Height who's still in the lead. Sean Briscoe tries everything he can on the outside. He's not going to be able to make that pass headed into the corner. But stacking up just behind as well, there's Conover trying to get that pass done on Jovi Ray.
Jovi Ray trying to defend it as now Josh Conover gets a boot there from Brady Moats. He saves it though, and Brady going to check up and let Josh keep that position. We got passes all throughout this field, everybody making as much work as they can, as we see, I believe, Ronnie Norman and Vincent Arthur both off track.
But we've also got a battle now for the lead, and it was for just a moment. Cody Height holding off Briscoe. A lot of contact between Ray and Briscoe as well. Both of these drivers keep it going, but Cody Height managing to hold on to that truck in the top position.
My goodness, these guys are beating and banging. Now, see, this is the type of road racing that I enjoy. That whenever stock cars, they're able to do this beating and banging. F1, you can't bump and run somebody, but these trucks, you absolutely can. I love it.
You gotta love this competition. Here comes Conover, gonna try to take that position away from Ray, and here comes Moats down to the inside. He sends it hard into the corner. And Moats is going to take that position away from Ray. Conover.
Yeah, 3 wide there. And, you just run out of track there. And Jovi Ray was pushed off into the grass, and he's going to lose a lot of position. So he went from locking this thing up with an easy win to now he's got to fight back. And he's got to be careful here. I know he's mad at Brady Most, but he can't turn him. He's got to be careful.
He's going to try to hopefully be diligent about how he makes that pass. But Ray back into the 5th position, Moats into 4th, just up in front. This has not changed. It's still Cody Height holding on to that truck. He has significantly older tires. Sean Briscoe, that time the fastest sector 1 time of all, while Cody Height set the fastest sector 4 time the previous lap. So these two trading fast sectors here as Cody Height continues to hold on. He's only got to hold on for 7 more laps. Can he do it?
Oh man, this has gotten exciting over the past few laps as we see back in the back, Jovi Ray and Brady Moats still going at it. Brady Moats blocked him the whole way to the wall.
There goes
and
Ray.
He's going to make contact again.
But Ray able to take that position back from Moats, crucially, as Ray still in competition to try to get this win, and Moats overshoots the keyhole a little bit. Here comes Vincent Arthur up into the 6th position. He's back at it again, and they're still fighting it out behind with Everett Couts and Timmy Harper trying to battle for position. Back up in front, though, Cody Height still in control of this race. 7 laps remaining, about 6.5 to go. Will Sean Briscoe's new tires be able to take Cody Height for Hollinger Racing? That's the question. Height doing everything he can to keep Briscoe at bay.
I tell you what, I'm not surprised that Vincent Arthur already up there into 6th. Even though he's got that damage, he's still got a fast truck. But we see Sean Briscoe trying on the outside here through Thunder Valley, looking into the inside, not going to be able to make it happen. Cody Height cuts him off. Josh Conover still right there behind Sean Briscoe, having a decent run here. He's going to look for maybe a pass on the front stretch if he's got the momentum here. He's still with Briscoe. Vincent Arthur now into 5th as we see him make a pass on Brady Moats back on the field there.
There is Vincent now up into that 5th position. Next up will be Jovi Ray, about 1.4 seconds up the track. But it's still Cody Height's race to win here in the NORA Truck Series at Mid-Ohio. We're in the closing stages with just 6 laps remaining. Can Cody Height hold on? I can tell you, I can just imagine what Cody is doing in his stream right now. He's probably fighting for every last inch on that track that he can possibly get. It would mean so much to him to be able to snag victory here, but not too fast. Can you count those chickens before they're hatched? Sean Briscoe still in that 2nd spot. Conover going to be fighting hard here in the closing stages to try to take victory as well. We also see that Jacob Gladelich going off track, coming back on, having more difficulty with that machine.
Yeah, this battle up front is intensifying. We're going to see Sean Briscoe do everything he can to pass Cody Height, but at the same time, you know, with Briscoe needing a win, dare I say, a little chrome horn comes in handy for Sean Briscoe, because he does desperately need this win.
Well, and I'll tell you, Cody Height may be racing for owner's points, but we've already seen it. Should he be able to take this win, he very likely could convert over to a driver's championship and be able to just be in the playoffs. We've already seen that happen with another driver. So Height racing for everything here tonight, trying to get his way possibly through three-corner Marianne, able to get into the playoffs. But right now racing for owner's points and pride on his stream on YouTube, and holding off Sean Briscoe and Josh Conover at this moment. Jovi Ray just behind, able to keep it going for Full Send Motorsports, and Vincent Arthur starting to close in on that gap, but he hasn't been able to make enough progress. I don't know if he's going to have enough time with just 4 laps to go this time by for Cody Height, for Vincent Arthur to try to make another attempt up at the lead.
Yes, issues for Cody Reeder. Cody Reeder has crashed, and so has Cole Martin. 2 trucks involved in
We've
this.
got
Many trucks
3
involved.
or
This may
4
be a
trucks.
caution. Oh no, this may be another caution here.
Well, admin's
No
not
caution
throwing
so
a
far.
caution for that one. Cody Reeder going to get back going again. I did see that Brian Jones had just gotten by. I don't know if this was connected, but he had just made the pass on both of these trucks, or perhaps they both slid off the track. And that was just a moment later that we had a crash from Cody Reeder. There you go. Reeder sliding sideways and collecting other trucks in the process. So they all get it going again, and we rejoin, and it looks like Cody Reeder doing the same exact thing, sliding sideways there, but everybody rejoins the track, and with 4 laps to go at the front, it is still the number 16 Ford for Hollinger Racing of Cody Height, who leads this race, and he's only got to hang on for 3.5 more laps. Sean Briscoe in second place, Josh Conover in third, Jovi Ray in fourth, and Vincent Arthur in fifth. We're going to see whether or not any of these drivers able to actually challenge and make it around Cody Height. But I tell you, it's looking like quite a battle right now, sizing up for that second position, as Briscoe has both Conover and Jovi Ray just about to join in this battle. Just 3 more laps to go here at Mid-Ohio.
And Conover doing an excellent job here, staying with Sean Briscoe. He has the same tires as Briscoe, so it's not a tire advantage or anything, so we'll see if Josh is able to run him down, but he is running the best laps that he has run all race right now, trying to stay with these two right now. We'll hop on board here with Josh coming into the disaster corner, we'll call it, from tonight so far. A lot of trucks have gone around in this corner. We'll see if he's able to get a run here on Sean Briscoe through this corner. He gets the curb on the inside here. He's pretty aggressive on those curbs as he's up again on them. Cody Height just running real smooth right now, running the best laps he's ever run at Mid-Ohio. I can promise you that right now.
Well, the question that I have is, can Cody Height make it with those yellow flag laps? I mean, that's the only way, by extending those yellow flags. I think that's the only way that he makes it on fuel, because he came in last on lap 44. So by my math, there would have been no way for Cody to be able to make it to the end. But with the caution flags, he was able to save enough fuel. It's possible.
I'm speechless about how old his tires are and how he's able to actually pull away from Sean Briscoe right now.
That last lap time, a 1:28.86. He's the fastest truck on track right now.
I'm speechless. I don't even know what's going on here.
Well, we know that Cody Height has been able to drive the wheels off of NORA Cup cars. We haven't seen him be able to do it necessarily in the NORA Truck Series, but maybe he's found his new calling, and he's going to have to race this series more often as Cody Height is, in fact, doing some pretty amazing stuff right now.
Oh, we got another crash.
And
Cody Reeder and Cole Martin again.
Cole Martin and Cody Reeder back here trading spots, but it looks like they've got it going once again. But up in front, it looks like the battle has now shifted. If Cody Height can keep it straight, it looks like it's going to be Briscoe and Conover fighting for position. Here comes Conover on Briscoe, and he'll take that position. Move Conover up into the second spot. Now does Conover have enough time to go and chase down Cody Height for that win? And will Cody Height yield it? Cody Height going to be going under that start-finish flag for the final time. This is it. One lap remains here for the NORA Truck Series at Mid-Ohio. Josh Conover trying to do everything he can to try to chase down Cody Height for the win. But Cody Height, all he has to do is hold on for about 9/10 of a lap, and he will be victorious in the NORA Series, his very first victory, and a chance to possibly, if he can work something out, maybe get into the playoffs here in the NORA Truck Series just by a matter of chance. Cody Height absolutely blowing away the competition. That last time, a 1:27.88. One of the fastest trucks on track, and keeps getting faster each and every lap. Cody Height pulling these laps out of goodness knows where. And Conover right now just getting almost close enough that maybe he can sense he can make a move on Cody Height. Will he try a send?
I think he's going to try. He's going to try in these last few corners. Here he comes. Let's see if he's going to send it into the final corner and maybe get into Cody Height here.
The checkered flag is in the hands of Barney the Flagman. I don't think he's close enough. Cody Height, all he has to do is finish this race, and Cody Height is now a winner in the NORA Series. Congratulations to Cody Height, taking the victory here for Mid-Ohio and the NORA Truck Series. Josh Conover hangs on for a well-earned second place over Sean Briscoe. What an amazing finish. Fourth place going to Jovi Ray, who had another stellar debut here in the NORA Truck Series. And Vincent Arthur concludes the top five. We're going to take a quick break so we can catch our breaths, and we'll get all of these top drivers into the post-race discussion area for the NORA Truck Series. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what these drivers have to say after this one. We'll be right back. welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. You just saw it live. Cody Height on YouTube scores big here in the NORA Truck Series, taking his first ever NORA victory. And he made it look almost easy, defending on that race restart. What an amazing ability behind the wheel to be able to defend from serious challengers such as Josh Conover and several attempts from Sean Briscoe. There was a lot of side-by-side racing in those final laps. Congratulations to our newest winner here in the NORA Truck Series, Cody Height. So Cody taking the victory by a very small margin, but plenty over Josh Conover. Conover with a fantastic charge there at the end to try to take the victory away from Cody Height, but he just couldn't do it. Third place goes to Sean Briscoe, who had a well-fought race for sure, and of course he's looking to get as many points as he could. And however, just not enough to really get up there and challenge Cody Height for the win while he was in position to do so. He challenged initially, but then kind of fell back a little bit. Jovi Ray with another terrific debut in another series here on VirtualRacing.Network. Just an absolutely amazing job by Jovi Ray. And what more can be said about the job that Jovi has done here in the NORA Truck Series and as well as the Icon Series last night. Really special stuff for Jovi, but unfortunately a little short here tonight, and of course he got a bump from behind from Brady Moats. That caused him to have to drift back. Now, the rest of your finishing order, Vincent Arthur, he of course too had a little bit of contact, and as a result he had to work his way all the way back from outside the top 10. He manages to finish with a top 5 finish. Brady Moats, he'll finish in 6th place, a great finish for him. Brian Jones in 7th place, your championship points leader, was up there challenging for the win, but had a couple of events that took him back there. Finds himself at the end of this race in 7th place. 8th to Everett Couch, 9th to Ronnie Norman, 10th Timothy Harper, 11th Matthew George, 12th Cole Martin, 13th Cody Reeder, 14th to Torrin Schertz, 15th Jacob Gladelich, 16th to Brad Fulham, 17th to Stephen Henning, 18th to Dylan Walterman, and 19th is taken by Craig Schroeder, 20th Christopher Heights, 21st Jared Wishin, 22nd Todd Slauson, 23rd Mark Morton, 24th Corey Danielson, who had a very rough race out there tonight, and 25th to Nick Geilis, who I don't know if he got a single lap in here tonight, but
I think he just race controlled him.
Just race controlled. Well, either way, that was an amazing race, to say the least, from beginning to end, and the driver that was sitting in control of this race all the way through until that caution came out on track and forced him to have to pit and shuffle back in the order. Jovi Ray looked like he had this one won, but it, in fact, was Cody Height. Now let's get a chance to talk with our top 3 finishers, and we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher, Sean Briscoe. Sean, driver of the number 39 machine, I tell you, my friend, it looked like for a while you were possibly going to be able to challenge for victory. You were up there in 2nd place, and then Josh Conover kind of got you there at the end. One heck of a run to finish on the podium. Talk us through your night, and what was it like out there at Mid-Ohio tonight?
Slippery. I could not put the power down, but I don't know, ran pretty good. I was pretty much the whole race I was trying to screw myself on strategy, so I pitted 10, 12 laps into the run, trying to do like a kind of like a, what do you see in F1 anyway? They pit like
undercut.
On lap. Yeah, the undercut. There you go. I was trying to do something like that, but the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I was like, oh yeah, I made a mistake. Just happy to hold on to a top 5 at that point. Well, caution came out and kind of made us all even, so it all worked out. Man, it was exciting there at the end. I thought I had him, but man, I just I kept burning the tires off, and every mistake he made, I was also making. And I just burned up my stuff. That's how Josh got by me, I think, anyway.
Well, and you fought hard, though. Of course, that alternate strategy you were out there, as you said, with the undercut, you were able to really clip into those leads. But talk us through how you felt that last that caution that came out with Jovi, who was in the lead. How did that benefit you? Did you think that perhaps that was going to be your ticket to being able to be on the same strategy as everyone else and potentially take this victory?
If I could have got past Cody.
Well, you went side by side there. That was just some phenomenal stuff. What was that like to race side by side? Was there anything else you could have thrown at it? I mean, how close did it get?
It was pretty good. Just coming off that corner, I knew I had it, but you had to stay alongside to make it work. And I started to understeer super bad, so I ended up having to back off and then just try to figure out how to get by him later. But yeah, that never happened. I kept driving a little over my head there. Every time I seemed like to touch the throttle, I was spinning the tires. So at that point, with about 3-4 to go, I pretty much just relaxed and tried to hold on to second, and then I made a mistake and lost that. So held on to third, so I'm still pretty happy with that.
Absolutely. Now you're still out there racing for points here in the regular season championship, and of course able to get some points over Brian Jones here tonight, who was back in action. But you still need that win, and I know this was a pretty close one. You're not always able to challenge on a road course for the win, but here you were tonight, able to just get up there. You're so close. In fact, we're watching on screen right now. You're able to take that lead away from Cody for just a split second. What do you think? We still got a couple more races left this season. Obviously, still a chance to take the regular season championship, but also still a chance to get that win and make sure that you're in those playoffs here.
Yeah, I think I'm in points-wise. I think regardless of where I end up, but I'll have to, something has to happen to Josh Conover or Brian. Something big where it takes him out of the race for me to actually get the championship. I'm not 100% sure how close we are. And, Josh keeps getting me at the end there, so it makes it a little harder, but it's all right. I think I'm in, so heck, if I can save a win to the end in the playoff, then so be it. I'll be okay with that.
Well, anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to before we roll on with the broadcast tonight?
My team, Corey and Craig, team. They are great people. It's good to talk to them every week. My dad for funding my sim addiction here, so I've been running a lot of the dirt stuff because of him. So I thank you, Dad, if you're watching. And, you guys. Josh for putting this on, and you for doing the broadcast. It's been pretty cool.
Well, pretty cool indeed, and a great, this could have been all strung out and, difficult to keep our attention focused, but you made it a heck of a great race out there, and congratulations on taking third, and I know it's going to happen here before the end of this season. We are going to see Sean Briscoe in the W column, so good luck out there next week, my friend.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Absolutely, and thank you for the kind words. That's Sean Briscoe there, who takes third place and almost had a shot at first. And I think, Christian, you've had a chance to catch up with our driver who finished second, Mr. Josh Conover.
I did. I was able to catch up with Josh Conover down here in pit lane. Josh, we talked to you there before the final restart, and you said you would be happy with a podium if you were able to get it, but you did better than that. You finished second here tonight and were able to hold on to that. So tell us how that final run went for you.
Crazy to say the least. If you would have told me after Brady, Jovi, and I got done battling, I could have caught them, I would have said you're crazy. And if you would have told me I was going to hold off Jovi, I would have said you were crazy. But Yeah, that was considering how the race started with the green flag run, and if you'd have told me that's how it was going to end, I would have said you were crazy again. So I don't know. It's kind of all I can say. It's just a crazy finish, and I guess finally had some sort of luck.
Yeah, these races, I'm telling you, every time me and Trevor are up in the booth, it's like a full moon. What is it, Monday night? It's some crazy stuff happens, but I mean, second place. This is actually, I think you're going to take the lead in points, possibly, or close to it, after this race over Brian Jones, unless he got more stage points than you. But you got 2 more weeks for that regular season championship. Is that your only goal here?
Yeah, I think if my math's right, he'll get me by 1. I think for stages he was +6, and then I think I got second. I think he was 7th, which obviously is a 5-point difference. So it should be, I think, 1 point gained on me, which is still, could have been a lot worse considering, like I said, how it started. So he should be up 11, I think. But I don't know. We got another off week, and then Pocono, which I ended up winning last year, but I think he had issues. And then Richmond, he's crazy quick. I expect him to probably lead every lap that night, to be honest, unless like Vincent or somebody comes run. But yeah, I mean, we're locked in. So really, I mean, we kind of, I mean, you see it in real life, guys kind of try different strategies and stuff like that. Really, I got to be careful too with Briscoe, because he's not far behind. He was only 5 points behind coming in tonight. So I think there's a 2 playoff point difference between second and third for the standings. So just gotta be smart, and I don't know. This will be probably a finish I go back and watch for a long time. Like I said, that was a lot of fun. I know Cody, that was his first win, and we were both happy with how that one went. I think we both kind of agreed if the finish line was on the back straightaway, it would have been a better finish. We could have drag raced for you, but no, it was good.
Yeah, me and Trevor were talking. We thought maybe you could get him in that last corner and get there to his bumper, but just not able to. But still, second place for you, man. Happy for you. Congrats on the second place. Anyone you want to give a shout out to and thank for the performance tonight?
Well, real quick, I mean, the plan was to give him the bumper, so I won't say I wasn't going to, but I was talking to him about it too. I think, I don't even know what corner it is, what they even call it, but you swing back to the right and try and get close to the wall, and then come back left right before the final few corners. I think I just misjudged it and kind of missed my entry in the apex on the left-hander, which kind of messed my entry up for the final corners. And once I hit second on my downshift, I don't know if I felt it or heard the wheels just kind of start chattering, so I kind of backed out of it and had to wait for it to settle. But at that point, if I would have got to him, I mean, I'm sure you know how iRacing is. I probably would have sent him spinning and flipping through the air, and he'd have been reset. Like, it wouldn't have been pretty. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, for how that race started, qualified, I think 12th, probably my worst qualifying effort of the season, to, I think, finish 6th in both stages, or 6th and 7th, something like that. And then, obviously, the caution fell our way, and we got pretty lucky on that one restart. But you take what you can get. I feel like I've had some bad luck the last couple of races, and to finally have some good luck is nice. But thank you guys for the broadcast. Like I said, I definitely will. I'm sure the beginning was a little boring, kind of spaced out. Green flag road course racing is not the best thing to watch, but hopefully we made up for it at the end. We'll definitely go back and watch that one on my break tomorrow. Everybody that ran, I think we had 26. I think, do you know that number off the top of your head?
I think 24 started.
Okay, well, 24. I mean, I think trucks, I was looking earlier, I think we haven't had under 21 all year, which obviously running the full schedules is quite a feat. A lot of guys get, wore out and stuff, but to have 24 at a road course that isn't necessarily everybody's favorite road course, I'll say is a pretty good number. And like I said, racing for the most part was pretty good. You had a lot of different strategies. The undercut was a big time gain. Then obviously, your tires were worn out, so I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely going to change your pace. You go from road course racing to super speedway racing tomorrow night.
Yeah, and you said you were going to watch the broadcast back on your break, but I don't know about that. You might be sleeping on your break if you if you don't get to bed here soon. So we'll let you go, and obviously let us know how you enjoy the broadcast. And thanks for the kind words as always every week for the performance that we put on as well.
Yeah, it makes it fun. I know you and Trevor seem like the more you guys are doing this. I know you guys obviously have Icon now on Sunday nights. You know, I mean, you and I know too, just from the few broadcasts we've done, it helps when you get the same person and get used to the drivers' names and, you know, who's aggressive, who's not, stuff like that. Just makes it flow better and just makes the overall product better. So, you know, it's, as the season goes on, like I said, I know it's a long season and it gets grueling, but broadcasts get better because, like I said, you guys learn more about us and, you know, how we race around each other and stuff, and just put on good shows. And then real quick too, congrats to Cody. Like I said, that was his first league win. He came close, I believe, at Daytona in the Cup Series earlier in the year. I think it was the closest finish or second closest finish in NORA history that he missed out on. So I guess if I have to lose to somebody tonight, I'm glad it was him. You know, he'll bust on me all week now for saying that, but you know, like I said, I'm happy for him. He's a good dude, and he earned it.
All right. Well, again, congrats on second place there.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Trevor. I think you caught up with Cody Height, our winner tonight. We'll go ahead and bring him over into Victory Lane celebration.
Well, what an amazing drive. He wasn't always in the top 5, but he found himself up there at the very end. And Cody Height on YouTube, as you're known. What an amazing drive to end up there in the right place at the right time at the end. And not only that, you did it on significantly older tires than the rest of the field. You held off all of the competition, including a very hard-charging Sean Briscoe and Josh Conover. You gotta feel like this was one of the hardest fought wins of your career, and certainly congratulations and welcome to the exclusive club of winners of the NORA Series.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, man, I was driving for my life those last few laps. The strategy just happened to work out. I hadn't really planned pit stops or anything out, and I went for like a 3-stop strategy, and I pitted 4 laps before that caution came out, and I decided to stay out and see what happened.
Well, you called it exactly right, but at the same time, just doing the math in my head, without those extra caution laps, there's no way that you would have had enough fuel to possibly make it until the very end. Or did you? I mean, was there something I didn't know, or were you absolutely dependent on the fortune of having a couple of extra laps of caution?
No, I was in when I made that pit stop. I was in the window to make it to the end, and I was just thinking pit and get new tires and run and try to get a top 10 finish, and then that caution came out at the perfect time. But yeah, I was in the window to make it on fuel.
Well, and still, only on that very lap did your speed start to waver a little bit. Before that, you were setting some of the fastest laps of the entire race, and one lap you were the fastest truck of all, and that was on significantly older tires. How do you explain it? Were you just absolutely feeling it behind the wheel of that number 16 Ford? Just being able to get that little bit of extra mojo to fight for that win?
Yeah, man, I was running for my life from Sean. I ran a 27.8 or something, and me and Timmy had been running officials and practicing all week, and I hadn't got out of the 28.5s, and on that one lap, it was a 27.8, just running for my life from Sean and Josh.
Well, absolutely amazing, and of course, it was all about Jovi Ray early on, and he and Sean Briscoe and Vincent Arthur were kind of setting the tone. And they are the only other drivers to hit that 127 bracket besides Brian Jones. So you're in some very good company hitting that very exclusive 127 second club. But hey, how does it feel to win here in the NORA Truck Series, to be officially a winner in NORA? And also, is there a chance that you can convert this over? Are you thinking about maybe joining the Drivers' Championship so that you can get into the playoffs?
I'm running for the Cup Series Drivers Championship, so I'm not going to do trucks this year, but next year I am going full-time for Harper Motorsports in the Truck Series instead of the Cup Series.
Well, there you go. So, that'll be an interesting thing for everybody to see next season, and what a heck of a win, a great drive tonight, the right strategy call. Anybody that you'd like to thank?
Oh, man, I just want to thank Timmy for letting me drive, invite me to drive in this league, Josh for letting me drive in this league, my wife for supporting me for coming out here and running for 3 hours every couple of nights, a couple of nights every week. It's a lot of fun being out here racing hard with all these guys.
Well, Cody, we always love catching your stream, Cody Height on YouTube. For those of you that are not already subscribed, make sure to head over there and see this stream and see it from the first-person point of view from Cody Height's perspective. And, of course, we always appreciate your social posts and promoting here in NORA, and now also promoting over in the Icon Series. You got a great future ahead of you. We're looking forward to watching it here on VirtualRacing.Network. Congratulations on your very first win, Cody Height.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
You too, my friend. So that is Cody Height, who takes his very first victory in the NORA Truck Series. And Christian, this was an action-packed road course race if I've ever seen one from not only the NORA Truck Series. I mean, this is probably like one of the best NASCAR races on iRacing I've ever seen. There was just so much going on throughout the race. I thought for a long time it was going to be Jovi Ray who would take the victory, but it wasn't. It turned out to be Cody Height after all. What are your thoughts as we close this one out tonight?
I mean, this was a great race. I came into the night thinking that it was going to be an absolute snooze fest because I road courses always get that like long green flag race, and it's like someone pulls out by 10 seconds, and then you just got to sit here and talk about random stuff. But man, it was action the entire race. Every single lap we were talking about something happening, whether it was a pass, a battle, a truck off track, and yeah, like you said, we saw different people up front. We had Sean Briscoe there for a while, thought he might win. Vincent Arthur was good. Brian Jones, Jovi Ray had a phenomenal run for me in full send, but unfortunately taken out. His chances were taken out by a not so clean move, but we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, this race is it's going to go down in the books for me as one of the best races in NORA history. That was a lot of fun, and to see Cody Height finally get a win, that's incredible. He deserves it a lot.
Well, there you see on your screen what we've got left. It's Pocono Raceway coming up next on July the 24th, and then our regular season finale from Richmond. That is going to be a lot of fun. 250 laps around Richmond, and of course then the top 10 advance, and those who have won races will get a chance to secure those playoffs. So with that, we're going to close this one out. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining us over on YouTube and watching through this fantastic race. If you're not already a subscriber here on VirtualRacing.Network, make sure you do subscribe. And if you don't mind, slap that like button and let everybody know that you like this race, and we'll make sure to give you lots more good coverage going forward. And of course, tomorrow night is our next broadcast on VirtualRacing.Network. You won't want to miss it right here, and it will be the NORA Cup Series from the brand new Atlanta Motor Speedway. On behalf of Christian Snyder and the NORA Series competitors and administration, we appreciate you joining us here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on VirtualRacing.Network. Until then, have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye, everybody.